Well, I chased you around as a kid fresh out of school. All over town, never minding all the rules. How to love a woman, how to play your silly games. Well, it's enough to make me cry. It's enough to drive me insane. All my life I've been trying here to Dark Road in the middle of Tobacco Road. Whoa, 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 yeah. I grew up in a rush shack. All the hand rollers hanging on my back. Now you know how I love this place called Tobacco Road. Whoa, 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 this song. They only lie by real low. I despise you 'cause I feel it, but I love you 'cause you're. I couldn't leave, get a job with the help and the grace from above. I built a town big, got a show, get a name, Tobacco Road. Whoa, 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 there's a song. They only lie by live alone. I despise you 'cause I feel it, but I love you 'cause you're. I bring down the mountain crane, I tear it up and start over again. I build a time beer, rock show, I give the name Tobacco Road. Whoa, 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 it's a song. They only lie by live alone. I despise you 'cause I feel it.
We understand what we do, not even number two. You can walk a mile in our shoes, but what good would that do? Because we do what we do. Yeah, we're not like you sometimes. Our course is true, other times it's askew. We're well aware you stand there looking like you've heard this all before. We're well aware you stand there looking like you've heard this all before. When we get up every day, we tend to make our way. If we got something to say, we could say or not say, and you won't catch us uptown. But we may be downtown, and we might just walk around and around and around. It's no surprise who's gonna get wise to this sooner or later. It's no surprise who's gonna get wise to this sooner or later.
Good evening, South Tama Trojan fans. Welcome back to another night of basketball here at the Roundhouse. We are in the middle of the girls' frosh game. South Tama and West Delaware in action tonight. As you can see on the scoreboard there, West Delaware out in front and in control in this frosh game. Started at 6 o'clock and, or excuse me, no, it started at 6 o'clock, and West Delaware has controlled this the whole way here. 41-5 is the score in the JV game. But we've got a pregame show coming your way. We've got all kinds of fun stuff. We're going to break down the last two games that South Tama has had on the boys and girls side. Talk about the Sadell game last Tuesday. Some community announcements. We've got a captain's interview with our two girls captains, Kayla Heck and Jeanette Cervantes. That's coming your way here during the pregame show. I'm Darvin Graham, and I'm joined by my co-host this evening, Hunter White. Hunter, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty swell, Darvin. Glad to be here. You know, it's a little cold outside, but, you know, it's always warm in the Roundhouse.
It is. Yeah, people just starting to trickle in, and the boys not in action tonight as the girls' season kind of needing to get going for their playoffs to start earlier. So the boys not playing tonight, and some of those boys varsity players I'm seeing kind of get into the stands a little bit, so it's good to see some of those kids coming to cheer on their classmates and such. And we're hoping for a good night of basketball here. South Tama hosting the West Delaware Hawks from the other side of the WaMaC. Both teams are 0-2. South Tama losing in their opener to Marshalltown, and then last week, Tuesday, to Sadell. Yeah, and West Delaware, meanwhile, losing to Monticello, and then losing to Western Dubuque in their 2 first games. So we'll see who can come away with a win this evening. South Tama continues to be kind of in a rebuild mode, and but some new players trickling in, and we'll have a breakdown of that action a little bit later. We're going to take a look at the boys' game first. So while we have a little bit of time, we're going to talk about the boys' debut. It was their season and home opener on Tuesday. The South Tama Trojans ended up losing 55-45 to Sadell at home. And interestingly enough, I kind of looked at it today to see our historical matchups. And, of course, going back just through the quick stats era, which takes us only into the late aughts. Usually it cuts off around 08, 09. South Tama has yet to win a boys basketball game against the Sadell Eagles throughout that quick stats era. Sadell is 6-0 against South Tama through that stretch. And each time those 2 teams have played, it has been a close finish. In South Tama losing by 10 this week on Tuesday. It was a 55-45 final score. And Hunter, what were some of your impressions just kind of off the top of that game? Both of us were on the call there, and thoughts about that boys game.
Well, definitely. I mean, the boys team kind of looks like a nice clay that kind of needs to be molded as it goes throughout the season. I mean, you saw flashes of Tommy Tynisma, great three-point shooter. Mm-hmm. There was also, great ball movement. They need to get a couple offenses or kind of pre-planned things going down. And obviously, Emerson looked really great. Bridgewater, right in the paint. So he's going to be, of course, he's a returner, and there was like 3 returners coming through. So hopefully maybe their leadership kind of builds up the 3 cross-country runners who are in, because you could really tell on the court that either every cross-country player was kind of running up and down the field and applying that pressure, and they weren't really getting tired. And even though they lost by 10, it was a close game, up until the very last moment. So it's looking really good for the boys.
Should be an exciting season. Kind of some stat breakdowns here. South Tama only scored 3 points in the first quarter. It was a slow start for STC, and they ended up taking a 10-point deficit going into the second quarter. Sadell really got their offense and their production going right from the get-go, and South Tama really didn't get started until the second quarter. It picked up a little bit in the second quarter, and South Tama kind of got themselves going, but Sadell hung with them and ended up still outscoring the Trojans 16-14 through the second quarter. So the Trojans were still trailing by a significant amount headed into the third quarter, and that's when STC kind of switched it on and was able to find some scoring. And like you mentioned, it was a lot of outside scoring. Tommy Tynisma came through with several different three-pointers throughout the second half, is really when he kind of got going. And the biggest output was during that third quarter. And then the rally kind of fell apart in the fourth quarter as I think the pressure kind of ratcheted up a little bit. And Sadell, I think, just had a few more players that were ready to meet that moment than South Tama. But like you said, it was an exciting game throughout. South Tama, a few stats really popped out looking at the team stats or comparing them. South Tama only got to the free throw line one time and was 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Meanwhile, Sadell shot 9 of 15 from free throw range. South Tama gave up twice as many turnovers. That was a ball control issue for the Trojans, 14-7. 14 turnovers for South Tama, 7 turnovers for Sadell. And South Tama also kind of got in foul trouble a little bit. Nobody fouled out, but there were 20 team fouls compared to Sadell's having only 5. Tommy Tynisma, Cade Rosenberger, and James Brandt each finished with 4 personal fouls at the end of the night. And I don't know how much that really played in as they were all contributing towards the end, but I think that kind of helped Sadell kind of put pressure on South Tama a little bit more with those fouls and kind of disrupting momentum a little bit. Looking at the player of the game for South Tama, it was Tommy Tynisma. Tynisma had 23 points. He was 7 of 14 from three-point range and really got the crowd excited in the second half. There were a few back-to-back three-pointers where they went down right in front of the South Tama bench, and the whole crowd just kind of lit up. So he's 7 of 14 from 3, finished with 6 rebounds and 2 blocks. And so the athleticism there, Tommy being a really standout runner on the cross country and track teams, shines through. His athleticism just allows him to do things that other players aren't. Even though he's not a particularly tall-framed basketball-type body, he can do a lot of things. He can jump really high, and that, I mean, he had the most blocks of the team, even though there were some taller players, at those post positions. So Tynisma with a really nice game. He's our player of the game from Tuesday. And then leading right behind him, Emerson Bridgewater finished with 11 points on the night. He was the second leading scorer for the Trojans. He also had 2 rebounds and 2 assists in his debut as a varsity basketball player for South Tama. He's a freshman coming in, the younger brother of Gavin Bridgewater, and he comes in, finishes with 11 points. You could see he was frustrated several different times. It maybe didn't go exactly how he thought it might, but I really thought it was a good first outing for him, being thrown right into the varsity lineup. He was a starter from the get-go. That's a lot of pressure to put on a freshman, and he met the moment, I felt like.
Absolutely. That was just one of those things, too, that he's going to grow with experience. He's going to play a lot of different centers throughout the WaMaC and non-conference, and he's just going to learn. And if he sticks with it, he's going to be a solid post player that you can actually build the team around going into the future.
Cade Rosenberger, meanwhile, finished with 7 points as the third leading scorer on the Trojans. And those 3 were really the only ones that got anything going on offense for South Tama. And as you mentioned, what you were saying throughout the night was that our post play was really non-existent in as far as offense goes. That we were out in the perimeter quite a bit. But we had Jeremy Dolash and Emerson Bridgewater kind of in position at several different points, but we weren't really kind of banging around down there underneath the hoop too much as far as rebounds and as far as post scoring. I really think there's some opportunities there as we've got some big-bodied, linebacker type kids that can get physical underneath. South Tama went, I want to say, 9 deep on their bench. It was kind of an interesting comparison. Sadell only went 6 deep. They had 1 player off the bench the whole night. Sadler Gruber came in, scored 4 points off the bench. A couple of nicely timed buckets for him. South Tama, meanwhile, had James Brandt, Tyrus Clegg, Holden Shermer, and Ian Vore all coming off the bench. Brandt led the team with rebounds. He had 9 rebounds, but had maybe 1 or 2 points. I don't even know if he scored. He might not have even scored. Tyrus Clegg, meanwhile, had the only points off the bench. He had 2 points that came in the second half, but none of the other bench players able to get on the board for South Tama. So the Trojans off tonight, and they'll be back in action on Tuesday. We're going to have that game live for you here on Trojan Country. Center Point Urbana comes to town, and the WaMaC season really gets rolling. We're going to have that game, and that'll be a fun one just to see how South Tama's been able to kind of retool things. They're going to have a long week of practice to be able to, get back to the drawing board and see what they can do. And we'll have that here on Trojan Country. So we're going to take a quick break and say thank you to our winter sponsors. When we get back, we are going to have our interview with STC's girls varsity captains, Kayla Heck and Jeanette Cervantes. Thanks for being with us, everybody. You're listening to Trojan Country. Connection here on Trojan Country. We're talking with two of our STC girls basketball captains. I've got Kayla Heck over here on the right and Jeanette Cervantes. Girls, thank you so much for being with us.
Yes.
First question, tell me, how long have you both been playing basketball? What's your kind of basketball experience been up to where you are now with the varsity team?
I've been playing basketball since middle school, and I've been involved since Blue Pride, and I played a little bit AAU over the summer. I've just been really involved recently.
Well, I started freshman year.
Okay.
That was my first year ever, and this is my third year, so yeah.
What do you like? What do you enjoy most about the game, about the team, the whole experience?
I like the energy of the team and like our connection that we have, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the connection with the team has really been great the last few years, and the girls have really all drawn together great. And just like the overall sport, super fun to kind of get to run through plays and stuff.
You guys have a lot of returners coming back for this season. What is that like, having a group that has been together now for a little bit of time coming back into another season?
It's pretty awesome because now we kind of know each other's skill level, and we're able to play off of that throughout the games and kind of know each other's more, like what they're going to do.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like the connection, since we have that connection, we know like how we play and stuff. Yeah.
What positions do you each play, and has that changed over the course of your career? Do you find that you're doing anything different position-wise or role-wise with the team now than when you were freshmen, maybe?
Well, I've played post since freshman year, so nothing has really changed.
Okay.
I used to play, well, I've kind of always played forward, or last game Dina had me playing some point guard. I've also played post in the past.
Yeah.
I've been kind of all over the floor, kind of wherever I need to be.
Jeanette, what is the most challenging part of working down low? Oftentimes, I know against that Marshalltown team, there were a lot of taller players that you had to kind of work against a mismatch a bit. What's the most challenging part of working down low in the paint?
I feel like fighting for the rebounds and stuff because the other teams, they have really, really tall girls, so it's kind of difficult to like move around down there.
Yep. And Kayla, for you, as an outside shooter, what do you have to do to kind of get your shot going and get yourself into a place where you're feeling good about your shot?
It's overall just really practice outside of the gym, and just having the in-games, like there's just memory.
You both are captains with the girls team. What does leadership mean to you as a girls varsity captain, and how does that kind of play out as you're getting ready to get the season underway here, maybe in this preseason time of the year?
Leadership to me means being there for my girls and pushing them to be the best they can be, and kind of getting their headspace and like the right mindset when we're starting a game or even at practices, pushing them to be the best they can be.
Along with Kayla said, just pushing each other, hyping each other up, and just the energy of everybody.
Yep. What do you feel like the team needs to do to improve from where you guys were last season? What are some of the things that you're working on in practice that feel attainable, feel doable, the things that you feel like you can do better as the season goes along?
I feel like we've been working on a lot of shooting, so shooting is like a priority this year, getting more shots up, and just moving around a lot more to have more open space.
Yeah, I'd agree with Jeanette. Shooting is definitely a big priority at practices now. And keeping our fouls under low, because I know last season we had a really high foul percentage. But this year we've already started the game better than we did our last game, so I'm proud of that. Yeah, so let's kind of pivot to talk about the Marshalltown game. You've had one game under your belt so far this season. How do you feel like the team performed in that game? I know it was a pretty close game up until the third quarter. Thoughts about how things went down in Marshalltown? I think the game went really well considering the first half of the game. We were starting off really strong. Girls knew our plays. We were in the right spots, making shots. But I think we just had to keep that consistency throughout the game and work towards that.
Yeah, I agree. It was a pretty good game for the first time, and yeah.
What do you feel like how did it feel to get back on the court for your first game of the season? Did anything feel different than last year? How was kind of the team gelled with some new players coming in to fill in for the graduated seniors from last year?
I feel like the new people coming up, they did pretty good for the first time playing with us, and very proud of them for that.
Yeah. getting ready for Sadell coming up on Tuesday, what do you feel like are some keys to being able to compete well, to win the game? What do you feel like South Tama needs to do to put yourself in the best position?
I think we need to have the right mindset coming into our game, because I know some of us can be kind of negative when it comes considering our losing and winning streak. But I think if we have the right mindset and the right capability to want to do things, we can make it happen.
Any thoughts about the upcoming Sadell game, Jeanette?
I'm excited about it, and yeah, definitely more communicating.
All right. Well, thank you, girls, very much. Best of luck to you and the Trojans, and we'll be rooting for you.
Thank you.
All right. Welcome back, Trojan Country fans. Darvin Graham and Hunter White here with you this evening as we're getting ready for the varsity matchup between South Tama and West Delaware. West Delaware coming in 0-2, South Tama also 0-2. We're going to run down your starters, and then we're going to break down this matchup and talk a little bit about both of these teams, where they've been up to this point. For the visiting team, the West Delaware Hawks. Starters. Number 4, sophomore guard Nora Payton. Number 10, junior forward, 5'10", Susie Funky. Number 21, junior forward center, 6-foot Brooke Krogman. Number 23, junior guard, 5'9", Josie McMahon, and rounding out the lineup for the West Delaware Hawks, number 2, sophomore forward, 5'6", Veda Langle. And for the Trojans, South Tama is going to have the same starting lineup as they had against Marshalltown 2 games ago. And so you can see there, Sienna Defoe, number 35, she's a senior. Number 24, post player, junior forward, Aubrey Dolzal. And then at the point, number 14, senior Takaya Rosenberger. The leading scorer from last Tuesday's game, Kayla Heck, number 5. She's a senior captain. And actually, we don't have, apologies there, technical error, but Madison Hitchcock is going to be starting in place of Jeanette Cervantes this evening. So Hitchcock getting the start. I think Cervantes has had some knee issues. She is dressed this evening, so we'll see how much she's able to contribute. She did kind of come off limping a couple of times in the Sadell game, so we'll see how she kind of fares this evening. Those are your starters. So for South Tama again, Heck, Rosenberger, Hitchcock, Dolzal, and Defoe.
All right, so let's go ahead and do a little game recap between the last matchups between these teams. West Delaware on Tuesday was 0-1, and the Hawks were on the road to face the 15th ranked 1-2 Western Dubuque Bobcats. The match started off even as both teams would score 12 points in the first quarter. However, a firm and more experienced Bobcat team would slowly grow the margin throughout the course of the game. In the second quarter, the Bobcats held the Hawks to only 1 point. The taller Hawks, led by 6-foot junior Brooke Krogman, kept it a low-scoring affair, holding the Bobcats to only 8 points. By the half, the Bobcats would lead 20-13. The offense would pick up speed in the second half as the Bobcats, who were led by junior Carrington Asp and the Bobcats would go on to score 15 points in the third. The Hawks, who were slowly getting out of steam going into the fourth, would give up a quarter-high 21 points to the Bobcats. However, the Bobcats would go on to win 56-32. For Western Dubuque, Carrington Asp would score a game-high 21 points. Junior Caitlin Tho with 13 defensive rebounds and 8 offensive rebounds. Senior Brooklyn Frislaff would lead the defense with 4 steals. The Bobcats would finish the night making 31% of their field goals, shooting 4 for 21 from the three-point range, while forcing 20 turnovers and 2 blocks. West Delaware ended the night with Brooke Krogman leading a team-high 15 points and 3 assists. Sophomore Veda Lang led with 8 rebounds. The Hawks would make 26% of their field goals and shot 5 for 20 from three-point territory. Also to note, their defense forced 8 turnovers and caused 10 steals. So definitely a strong charging first quarter team, and as the time goes on, it starts to wear a little bit.
Yeah.
For South Tama, previously the 0-1 South Tama Trojans played at home versus the 1-0 Sadell Eagles. Sadell would initially lead by using a strong offensive tempo with junior Paige Rumens, sophomore Luella Westfenning, and sophomore Lauren France at the helm. With their quick actions in the paint, Sadell would keep steady pressure on the Trojan defense. The Trojans in the first half were led by senior Kyla Heck, who would continue to work inside the paint to put up a majority of South Tama's first half points. At the half, Sadell would lead 21-17. The Trojan defense would continue to strengthen into the second half. Notably, the defensive effort of the Trojans held Sadell only to 4 points in the third quarter. Freshmen Olivia Halla and Jasleen Lastly were the only 2 players from either team to score off the bench, giving the Trojans their second lead of the night. The Trojans would end the third quarter with a 7-point advantage. However, the determination of the Eagles would slowly carry them to victory, scoring 22 points in the fourth quarter. The final being 47-42 Sadell. Paige Rumens would lead Sadell with 22 points, 19 rebounds, and 10 steals. For the Trojans, Kyla Heck would lead with 17 points, Jaslyn Lastly with 7 rebounds, and junior Jeanette Cervantes with 5 steals. The Trojans ended their night making 29% of their field goals and shooting 2 for 13 beyond the arc, forcing 32 turnovers and to their 20, which is a negative 12 differential. Sadell would make 33% of their field goals, scoreless beyond the arc, and led an impressive 54 rebounds and 11 assists.
Yeah, so we really saw a more seasoned team come out for Sadell against South Tama last Tuesday. Paige Rumens controlled and dominated their matchup last year over in Des Moines, and it was really the same story against South Tama again here on Tuesday. Kayla Heck had a nice night. I think she's really rounding into a kind of the best version of herself as a basketball player. She seems very confident on the floor. She's had a lot of varsity experience in multiple sports, and you can tell that the mission for South Tama, as we heard from Coach Kiana last week, last game, was shot volume, getting up more shots. You're not going to make points if you're not going to get the shots up, and that was a problem for South Tama from a statistics standpoint. And I think they're working towards that. Heck was the main shot taker. I think she had 21 attempts on the night and was far outpacing her teammates. But it really shines a light on a couple freshmen that really had really nice debuts. Olivia Halla came on in the second half and was able to do some nice things. Jasleen Lastly made a couple of shots that were really key at different points, like you said. So there's a lot to work with there, I think. So anyway, that brings us up to tonight. We've got about 3 minutes until we are going to tip things off here between South Tama and West Delaware. I'd like to say thank you to our winter season sponsors. They include Berkwood Village of Tama Toledo, Salt Creek Wind, Mercy Care Tama, Iowa Premium, State Bank of Toledo, Hardin's, S&S Car Wash, Cruzy Phillips Funeral Home, Appraisal and Realty Services, Robach Lumber, Stein Robach Floor Covering, Medicap Pharmacy, Mark Weston Hoyer Law Office, Assured Partners Insurance, Sharn Webbers, and TFD Photo and Film. All of our Trojan Country broadcasts also made possible by the Charlie Townsley Memorial. Thanks to all of our local sponsors for being with us and choosing to support South Tama activities and our broadcasts here on Trojan Country. We're going to have more broadcasts coming your way next week. We have basketball and wrestling next week. It's going to be Tuesday for a boys WaMaC match against CPU, and then on Thursday we're going to have the Pin the Gym night for the STC Booster club. And so that's going to be a girls and boys dual meet against the Benton Bobcats. So that's coming up on Thursday. We'll have that for you here on Trojan Country. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with our tip-off here at the Roundhouse. Thanks for being with us, everybody.
I'm telling you all I know. Are you hearing me? It's coming through what I think uncontrollably. I'm asking you to listen up, maybe understand. It's all I have to give you. It's my helping hand. I'm leaving you all I've done. That means everything. It's there in you. Shout it out. Everyone should sing. Can you hear the sound of my voice? Can you hear the sound of my strumming voice? Are you hearing me? 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 I can hear you.
At forward, A junior number 10, Susie Funky. At forward, A junior number 21, Brooke Krogman. And at forward, A junior number 23, Josie McMahon. The head coach for West Delaware is Brad Wabana, and he is assisted by Rich McMahon and Shannon Funky. Don't worry, we're getting a new one soon. Now for your STC Trojans, at forward, a senior number 5, Kayla Heck. At guard, a senior number 14, Takaya Rosenberger. At guard, a junior number 23, Madison Hitchcock. At forward, a junior number 24, Aubrey Dozal. And at forward, a senior number 35, Sienna Defoe. The head coach for South Tama is Nina Kiana, and she's assisted by Marsha Kiana. Please remain standing, face our flag for the playing of the national anthem.
All right, we are ready to go here at the Roundhouse. Quick recap, starters for both sides for the Hawks. Veda Langle, Nora Payton, Susie Funky, Brooke Krogman, and Josie McMahon. For the Trojans, Kayla Heck, Takaya Rosenberger, Madison Hitchcock, Aubrey Dolezal, and Sienna Defoe. Some thoughts, keys for the first half here, Hunter, for the Trojans.
Yeah, the Trojan triumph points would definitely be aggressive, be physical, especially in the paint. You're going to be playing against Krogman, who is 6 foot, like we said in our starters, and she is going to be the one who is going to dish it out at the top of the key. She's going to be the one scoring the paints and blocking the shots. Stop her, South Tama could get a win.
It will start with the Hawks, and first shot up for Funky, and it's no good. It's Kai Rosenberger the rebound, and we are off and running. Defoe is going to be called for double dribble. She kind of just lost the thread there a little bit near the top of the key. And a turnover will start things off for Coach Dina Kiana and the Trojans.
Unfortunate that you see that, but, you know, try and keep it scoreless, get the rebound, and keep it going.
Long three by Nora Payton, and the Hawks are on the board.
Already doing a full court press, and right there, Hitchcock's going to
turn it over.
Yep, it's just unfortunate. There, another fast break point, drive in for McCone. Pass that out to Langle, and she will miss her receiver, and that's going to be a Trojan ball.
All right, Takai Rosenberger to take it up. Quickly gets it over to Heck. And Kayla Heck running the point. Guarded by Payton, spinning move into the lane, and a foul is going to be called.
Travel.
Oh, travel called.
Yeah, she kind of lost her footing, took that extra step. I mean, it was a good call, but, you know, at that point, you want to try and see if you can get a shooting foul. Just go straight up if you can. That's going to be a 3 ball for Funky, and she'll knock that one down.
Rosenberger getting pressure, and she'll be fouled getting into the half court.
Yeah, so things to definitely good things that they're trying to work on. Unfortunate that we gave up 3 balls, you know, the only points of the night, but can keep it going in the paint and can get something done.
Rosenberger down low to Aubrey Dolezal. Dolezal gets it knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Trojans. I don't think everybody knew that's what was happening, so it's just going to be an out-of-bounds call. Last touch by the Hawks, inbound by Rosenberger. Heck into the lane, slicing in, and just gets an unlucky bounce at the rim. Jump ball is the call after a loose ball scramble. It was Heck and Payton battling out there, and now Rosenberger to inbound.
Nice pass out.
Madison Hitchcock at the point. Long 3 for Kayla Heck, in and out. She gets her own rebound, and a challenge, another jump ball.
This time it's going to say, West Delaware. So, but aggressive play. That was a nice pass out to start that sort of kind of sequence. You just need to keep moving around more, and hopefully get an empty look.
McMahon brings it up. Down low to the 6-foot Krogman. Back outside. Now Krogman. Open look inside, and she puts in her first points of the night. She's going to be trouble for a lot of teams in the WaMaC this year, that's for sure.
Yeah, she's got long arms too, so it's just really difficult.
Defoe passes a little too high, trying to get it to Rosenberger, and it goes out of bounds. Another turnover for the Trojans.
So passes out into the paint. Gonna pass right back out, and that's another 3 ball for Mahone. That's going to miss just off shy, and that's going to be called a jump ball. Possession arrow, South Tama. And it wasn't a bad look either. That was just kind of off pace, but South Tama's got to apply that pressure that they did against Sadell if they want to kind of close this margin out.
Kayla Heck with the ball in the perimeter. Dolezal has a pass stripped away by McMahon. And now Krogman in the fast break, passes it out to Langle. Rims out. Heck, the rebound. Trojans looking for their first bucket. Rosenberger trying to get a fast break going, but it gets stolen away.
I'll be passed out over to the corner. Defended there by Defoe. And just a nice block shot. And that's going to be South Tama ball.
Susie Funky on the shot attempt there, and I think it was Dolezal underneath getting the rejection. West Delaware ready to pressure here as they're kind of at a three-quarter press
Yeah, Takaya's going to get doubled
position. Rosenberger has it knocked away, but it is last touched by the Hawks.
up. When you're in a full court pressure situation, there's one or two things that you can do. First thing is you got to assist the person who's going to inbound the ball. So you got to get 2 or 3 people, maybe some kind of odd motion, maybe even got to go all the way back to the baseline and get it out that way. Otherwise, you're going to have to get right in front of Rosenberger or whoever's putting in the ball, and then you got to sprint down, going coast to coast essentially to kind of pass that defender. And if you don't do either one of those two things, both of them are going to be really fast offensive moves. But you got to do one of those if you're going to deal with full court pressure.
Coming out of the timeout, Sienna Defoe will inbound. The Trojans trailing 8-0 with 5 minutes on the clock.
So right there, pass.
And Rosenberger throws it away. And the mental game working a little bit here for Rosenberger. She's kind of tensing up a little bit. Ball goes back to the Hawks. McMahon will trot it up the court. Kirsten Colbert in out of that timeout. She gets her first look off the bench. And McMahon, Hitchcock, I think, might have altered that pass across the court, and that forces a turnover for West Delaware. So South Tama back in action here on offense.
Hopefully some points on this offensive possession.
Veda Langle checks out. For the Hawks, here's a steal. And
she kind of slipped under her own power.
That was Nora Payton getting the steal and the fast break, and her legs just came out from underneath of her.
Yeah.
Thankfully, well, we'll see here.
Ooh, yeah, she's hurting. She might have hit the hip or something.
And so Payton is going to take a second, and coach is going to come out and see how things are going.
I mean, that was a hard hit on the
It
hardwood,
was.
too.
I mean, something was wet or slick underneath, and she just was going full speed. So that's a tough spot there. So we hope she can kind of get it stretched out and be all right.
So with that, I believe that was unfortunately called a travel, so South Tama will get that ball. Again, Rosenberger's going to be doubled up all the way back under her own hoop. Pass out to Defoe. She'll take a top of key.
And Defoe down low to Dolezal. Dolezal called for traveling. And the Trojans just not in control enough. That was not, all of Dolezal's fault there on the turnover. The incoming pass was a little off balance.
Yeah, you got to have a little bit more talent. Got to plant those feet if you're going to do a pass like that.
Krogman working against Dolezal, one-on-one, buckets it from the right side.
Again, just getting pressure on Rosenberger. She's got that smaller on size, but oh my goodness.
Defoe has it stripped away by Colbert. Colbert's shot is no good. Loose ball finally stripped away by Sienna Defoe.
And this one taken away by Krogman.
So a pass by Rosenberger, picked off by Krogman now, and the Hawks in control. Langle into the lane, and she puts one through. Bit of a scoring drought, kind of, or it feels that way at least for West Delaware.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going back with the steals this time. It's Langle again who dishes it out to Colbert. And that's 14 points now for the Hawks.
Yeah. A lot of this coming off of turnovers. There's another one. Hitchcock trying to get it to Dolezal. A turnover pass picked off by Krogman. And Krogman finishes off with the assist from McMahon.
At this point, they got to play a little tighter ball because it's just so aggressive that these Hawks are playing right now. With this, that's going to be a kick out top of the key for Defoe. Heck. Trying to look for somebody who's open. Dishes out to Defoe, and that is
down
going
low,
to be
and
blocked.
it's picked away.
So now Krogman's going to take an inside pass out and intercepted.
There's a
nice steal.
pass picked off by Madison Hitchcock. 16-0. South Tama still yet to score. Kayla Heck tosses it away underneath the hoop, and some substitutes check in. First off the bench for South Tama is going to be Olivia Holla. She will check in for Sienna Defoe. And for the Hawks, Natalie Menson checks in for Susie Funky. McMahon will bring it up the court. Krogman again. A little underneath shot off the mark. Hawks get the offensive rebound. McMahon, baseline. And Kirsten Colbert cleans it up and puts one through.
Yeah, South Tama's just got to find something here offensively. You don't want to go scoreless in the first. That's going to hurt so much, and Rosenberger's going to throw that one away and dish out over to Langle. Won't go, but the second attempt won't go either. And
Holla comes away with the rebound finally.
So Rosenberger's going to drive it in, left-hand side, tries to pass out to Holla, and just the ball's kind of airing out. She's forcing it a little bit too much, and you can tell that she's getting a little tired.
Azalee Morgan will check in for Hitchcock. And Funky checks back in, this time for McMahon. Here's Krogman. Little in and out game with Langle on the perimeter. Krogman spin move. Hard off the back of the rim. Dolezal comes up with the rebound, and the Trojans march it up the court.
Got to find something either on the inside or perimeter. You got to find some points. That's high off the glass. It's going to be stolen away.
Funky comes down with the rebound. Nice pass in the middle of the lane to Krogman, and Krogman draws the foul. She'll go to the line for two. Foul is on Azalee Morgan. First personal for her. First team foul for the Trojans. And Krogman puts through the first.
Just got to find a way to stop Krogman. And, of course, she's a tall player inside the paint. Center work is doing really nice. She's using her feet, using the body to kind of get in that space. At this point, maybe South Tama needs to look for three ball if they're going to go small like they are right now. And they just got to pick up the tempo, too.
Paula has a pass, or excuse me, Heck has a pass picked off by Colbert there. Inside look for Krogman. Not able to go. Loose ball picked up by Rosenberger. Trojans back in a fast break now. Rosenberger trying to get it down to Heck. Heck, nice looking shot from the baseline. Not quite there. And Krogman cleans up the rebound. 35 seconds left on the clock, first quarter. South Tama has yet to score in this one against West Delaware. And a first three-pointer of the night. Susie Funky from the corner is good. 23-0. Holla hands off to Rosenberger. Rosenberger throws it away again. Menson inside. Unable to go. Funky on the putback, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Kayla Heck. It'll stay with West Delaware.
Yeah, they're just really intercepting. And, of course, you know, they played against 15 ranked Western Dubuque, and you can kind of see why they only held them to 8 in the second.
Yeah. And a foul's going to be called. And I think that will take us.
Yeah, push foul on 5. Heck.
Heck picks up her first personal. And that'll take us to the quarter break. We'll be right back after this. Thanks for being with us. Second quarter coming up in a moment.
When you wake up in the evening, I've left an empty space.
Welcome back. The start of the second quarter. West Delaware leading South Tama 23-0. It's been all Hawks so far here at the Roundhouse. That was Brooke Krogman on a shot, first trip down the court. Rebound by Azalee Morgan. And the Trojans seeking their first bucket. Here's Kayla Heck from the left side now. Shots off the mark. Now Langle, Veda Langle, the sophomore. Touches the rim, but it bounces out of bounds, so it'll be South Tama ball.
Girls just got to play with just a higher sense of urgency. They need to get some help to Rosenberger at the top of the key, get some motion going. They need to make something.
Here's Olivia Holla. She had 11 points in that Sadell game. See if she can maybe get a shot going at some point here. South Tama's just got to work on ball control, though. That's going to be the main challenge before the shots can come. And there's another turnover. Rosenberger inside to Morgan, stripped away by McMahon.
McMahon, she'll pass out to Langle. Takes it over to Colbert. Nice defense there by Rosenberger. Deep two.
Krogman swishes it through. Long two-pointer, 25-0 now, the score in favor of West Delaware. South Tama has only gone one deep to the bench so far. Air ball shot on the baseline there for Heck. Holla trying to maybe wrestle the jump ball out of the situation, but it stays with West Delaware. Corner jumper for Josie McMahon, and that's off the mark. Heck the rebound, and now Rosenberger in the half court.
If she's going to play small ball like that, you're going to have to use a little bit more your quick speed, closer set to the ground, get centered down, and make a move past the defender.
Rosenberger, three-pointer. Off the backboard, another player slips. We're having some court issues here. We've had two players so far go down, I think, with kind of issues with the court somehow. Heck was the one that kind of lost her footing that time. And now a foul against South Tama underneath the hoop. That will send Veda Langle to the line.
And
that was Morgan's second. And a couple reserves coming on for the Trojans. It's going to be Sienna Defoe checking in for Aubrey Dolezal and Jazeline Morgan for Rosenberger. And another bucket for Langle. Holla working the point now. Let's see if she can get some ball work going here. Screen from Defoe. Heck gets tied up. Hands it off to Defoe. From the corner. Air ball. Rebound picked up by Natalie Menson, the sophomore. Menson charges up the court and trying to get it to Funky on the sideline. Turnover, throws it out of bounds.
I mean, that was a great idea there, that last sequence that South Tama had. Get the screen going, maybe even, dare I say, a double screen. Get somebody open on the perimeter, make a shot, try and change the pace. As Holla's going to take it in and fouled.
A little behind the back maneuver there, and good enough to get Olivia Holla to the free throw line. So
that's going to be Langle's second foul.
Second team foul for the Hawks. No, excuse me, first, because we're resetting in the quarter break. So Holla misses on the free throw. And the second, in and out.
That's tough, but jump ball.
Jump ball after the rebound. Heck and Funky were both grabbing there. It'll go with the Trojans, so Defoe will inbound the ball underneath her own hoop. Here's Jazeline Lasley. Long three-pointer. Bounces high, and it hits the top of the hoop, so it will be called out of bounds.
Lasley had a key three-pointer in that Sadell game.
Yeah, she did.
And I like the confidence shooting already beyond the arc.
Susie Funky from three off the front of the rim. Loose ball picked up by Lasley. Lasley thought she had a teammate on the sideline and just threw it away. Turnover, Trojans.
That's going to be a foul called for Tama, I believe, or excuse me, West Delaware.
And I
Push.
think that was against Defoe. So Sienna Defoe picks up her first. Second team foul for the Trojans. Coming up at halftime, we've got the $50 half-court challenge. We'll bring you that here in about 5-10 minutes when the second quarter concludes.
Morgan's going to pick up her third foul, third personal. And Trojans got 3 team.
And this is Andrea WaMaC at the line. So West Delaware going into their bench here a little bit, which feels like the right thing to do at this point where you're very clearly dominating. 28-0 the score now, just under 5 minutes to go. And Holla will bring it up the court into the half court. Morgan along the outside. Covered up by Krogman. Morgan gets it over to Defoe. And Defoe throws it out of bounds. South Tama just not able to move the ball around these West Delaware players. We're looking at a lot of bigger, longer bodies than South Tama's matched up against. Morgan will check out for Madison Hitchcock.
That's the main thing, too, you got to think about is just the size of the girls on West Delaware is, it matters.
Yep. Krogman, pump fake into the lane, and she'll be called for traveling.
Ooh, and she's going to hurt her ankle, kind of gippy a little bit, but she's going to fight through it.
Defoe will inbound from the far side, and South Tama still looking to get on the board here.
I only have 5 attempts, really, on the night.
Yeah, there's another 3 from Lastly. It's off the mark. Krogman picks it up, gets it up the court. This is Lena Petlin outside to WaMaC.
Oh, what
Krogman,
a move.
really nice post move right there. Really good pivot move. And it's 30-0. Krogman leading with 12 points. Here's Sienna Defoe. Underhanded shot underneath the hoop. No good. Lastly, the rebound. Gets tied up. And a foul is called.
I mean, just kind of that last shot there by Krogman, like that's like college level kind of moves right there. So she's been absolutely dominating in the paint already. You can kind of see that. So Defoe's going to pass it inbounds to Heck. She'll make a couple moves, and a deep 2 shot finally goes down.
Kayla Heck gets South Tama on the board. Not a moment too soon. Here come the Hawks again. Krogman guarded by Holla. Trojans in their zone. Down low to WaMaC. Her shot's off the mark. Scramble underneath the hoop. Finally picked up by Heck, and now the Trojans press it up the court. Heck one-on-one.
Feeling a little confident. Nice kick out to Lastly.
Holla.
You gotta go
Picks
up on
it
that. That would have been a good call if it was straight up, but alas, here we are, out on the perimeter.
Heck loses the handle a little bit, picks it up near the half-court line.
Shot
6
clock
seconds
winding
on the
down.
shot clock, yeah. Hitchcock gonna have to get it inside. Heck knows she has to shoot, gets it rejected. Tipped out of bounds, and it will.
It'll be a shot clock.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, shot clock violation. Because it didn't hit the rim after the shot clock went to 0, regardless who touched. So McMahon's going to dish it out. Again to Krogman, just a nice move on the paint on the inside there.
Krogman with 14, 32-2 the score. All West Delaware here. Reminder, we do not have the boys in action tonight. They'll be next suiting up against Center Point Urbana on Tuesday. We'll have that game for you here on Trojan Country. The girls will be on the road then to CPU next Tuesday as well.
Be kicked out to McMahon. She'll jump. And Rebounded by Heck.
Kayla Heck comes down with the rebound. Here's Olivia Holla working the ball at the point. Swings it over to Defoe. And South Tama just kind of crashing into the waves of West Delaware here, really not able to work an offense that they want to do. So it's just sort of, there's another shot from Kayla Heck, banking one in up the middle.
Only down 28, so don't call it a comeback.
McMahon gets the screen from Funky. Good passing sequence there by the Hawks. Funky inside of Krogman, and that's where they're going to make their money this year.
Absolutely.
Working that size advantage that Krogman has. As long as she can stay healthy and out of foul trouble, it's going to be a big weapon for them. That already has been. She was their leading scorer last year. Hitchcock into the lane, kicks it out to Heck. And Heck fires. Foul called on the rebound against Holla.
It just got a little bit too aggressive and was trying to go for the jump ball. Didn't get it, and foul called. Just kind of the way you got to reach in, you got to go in for all ball. So must have caught some of the jersey going in. Must be Colbert, passes out, dishes to Krogman. She's doubled up.
Funky pump fakes in the corner to Langle. Rattles off the back of the rim. Krogman, put back is good.
That is just stellar work on the inside of the paint. But Rosenberger, she's going to go in quick, try to create some space. That's punched out.
And Heck loses the handle near the sideline. That'll be another turnover.
So now with less than 30 seconds in the half, South Tama looking for answers here. Wow. That's a move that you see. I see you and I run that move all the time. Excellent work.
Under 10 seconds to go. South Tama can hold it for one more shot. Hitchcock's shot is off the mark. A jump ball. 2 seconds left. And a last second heave there at the end of the second quarter. Halftime score, West Delaware 38, South Tama 4. And we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we'll have the half court $50 challenge. We'll be back after this.
When you wake up in the evening, and I've left an empty space, will you remember how you're feeling? 'Cause I felt like that for days. And if you ever get the feeling you're gonna fade away, I could be there behind you. Big pieces are too late. I don't need you now, I'm alone. I can feel my life go by in slow motion. I need to know if you're afraid or feeling blue. But when you start to fall for someone new, I need to know.
Welcome back, South Tama Trojan fans and basketball fans alike. Currently halftime here in the Roundhouse. Hawks lead 38 to Trojan 4. Kind of looking at halftime stats as we're going to go into the second half here. So definitely the only points on the board currently is Kyla Heck with 2 made from the field goal line. And conversely, there has been a lot of points made for these West Delaware Hawks. Tall girls, especially that 6-foot junior Brooke Krogman. She is currently 8 for 13 in the field goal, and she is 100% beyond the arc. Funky is 2 for 3 beyond the arc as well, and Peyton is 100% with her 1 shot made beyond the arc. Kind of looking at sort of kind of offensive pressure by this West Delaware Hawks has definitely been the story of the night. Of course, you can tell with that 28-point, a 34-point deficit going into this second half. Definitely a lot of steals going from the Hawks side. Of course, I've only written down 2, but there has been plenty more. Almost every possession that South Tama would kind of start going, either a perimeter player or someone in the paint is swatting at the ball and making a play on the ball, and South Tama is just not being as aggressive as they need to be, and that is what caused this deficit. So definitely some things to work on going into the second half. South Tama needs to be more aggressive. Of course, Rosenberger, who's going to be atop the key, has been very difficult on that ball handling side of things, but she's got to use her size, get down lower to the ground, dribble a little lower, and really protect that ball and get some movement going. If they can do that, they'll have a successful second half.
Some scores for you around the WaMaC. A couple of games already concluded. Mount Vernon at Grinnell. The Mustangs won 65-22 over Grinnell tonight in Grinnell. Independence traveled to Vinton, and Vinton-Shellsburg got the win 82-49 over the Independence Mustangs. And meanwhile, the top-ranked Solon Spartans, and they've got a senior that's headed to the University of Iowa next year. Solon leading 15-8 at Williamsburg, and that's just in the first quarter. So they're just getting started over in Williamsburg. It'd be interesting to see how that shakes out. Well, before we get going on the third quarter, we're going to do some community announcements here and just talk about a few things that are coming up in the next few weeks here in Tama Toledo community. Maybe.
Maybe you need a clear, or I don't know. Either way, I mean, as we're going to start getting into the second half. Oh, go ahead.
All right, so coming up on Wednesday, December 6th, the Project 60 annual event is happening here at the STC High School. South Tama welcomes members of the community age 60 or older, and they're going to have a nice meal put on by the STC Student Council and the food service program, as well as entertainment by the music department. That's at noon on Wednesday, December 6th.
That's always fun.
The winter concert for the middle school music programs are going to be Monday, December 18th at the middle school gym. 6th grade performs at 6 p.m., and the 7th and 8th grade choir and band perform at 7. The elementary concert, meanwhile, happening Monday, December 4th at 7 p.m. here at the high school. And we're going to get ready to start second half action here in Tama. South Tama back out with their first half starters. Sienna Defoe inbounding to Takaya Rosenberger. Down low, Kayla Heck, Madison Hitchcock, and Aubrey Dolezal. Same starters out for West Delaware as well as we start the third. McMahon and Colbert actually getting the start over Langle, who's in with a little foul trouble. It was Krogman on the miss underneath the hoop. And Funky rounding out the starters for the second half for the West Delaware Hawks.
So I like that move by Hitchcock there. or Dozal, excuse me, but couldn't convert on those points.
A couple of nice defensive sequences here for South Tama as they come out a little refocused out of the halftime break. McMahon down low, and a foul is called as Krogman was getting ready to go up for a shot. Foul is going to be called on... Oh, no, it was called against Funky, so an offensive foul there. So Funky picks up her first team foul for the Hawks. Rosenberger tried it. It was a good-looking pass down low, and Heck maybe wasn't ready for it, and it goes through the hands and out of bounds.
It's really difficult. You'd almost want to come back up with that. So
Colbert bringing it up. McMahon having a little trouble and throws it away. Turnover for the Hawks, gives it to the Trojans. Madison Hitchcock, a shot, bounces around, just got robbed at the rim there. Good effort there by Hitchcock. A steal by Defoe. Defoe will draw the foul as McMahon tried to get down low to knock it loose, and she'll be called for a foul.
Unfortunate that wasn't a shooting foul, but again, that was a good call. But they're playing aggressive for the ball, and that's just how West Delaware is going to play.
Inbound pass to Heck.
Rosenberger.
Hitchcock down low, double team. Good thought on the pass there. She was trying to find Dolezal. Tried to get around the defender, and the ball got knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with South Tama. Good instinct there by Hitchcock.
Yeah, that was an open lane shot. Defender was looking elsewhere, and here's a elbow jumper. It's going to go down for
Kayla Heck with all the points so far for South Tama. All right, McMahon kicks out to the side to Colbert.
They're going to dribble it out. They're going to think about this one. McMahon. Pass out from the right side, pulled up and fouled.
Krogman on a double team. Goes up through contact and will be awarded the foul. She'll go to the line. First team foul, and it's going to go against South Tama's Aubrey Dolezal. That's her first personal. Just the first team foul here in the third quarter for South Tama, and Krogman misses on the first of two. Of course, any shooting foul or any, well, it is a shooting foul, so she's shooting two. But what I want to say is that after teams get to the double bonus with 5 team fouls, then it's 2 shots the rest of the way until the end of the quarter. Rosenberger, little no-look pass there to Heck. Heck gets a shot up. Off the backboard hard, but Funky will come up with the rebound. Hawks try the fast break to get it down the court, and they'll throw it away. And so South Tama, I think, looking a little more focused coming into the third. West Delaware looking a little more maybe distracted. I don't know if that's exactly how they're feeling, but that's what we're seeing so far anyway.
Yeah, Rosenberger is going to pass it out to Hitchcock, that's going to get slapped away by
McMahon goes in there to steal it away, and she comes away with the steal. The fast break layup is no good, but Funky down low cleans it up with a little put back from the right side. 41-6, still all controlled by West Delaware. And we'll see just how South Tama can maybe improve on what they've done so far. Dolezal, good effort going up against a 6-foot Brooke Krogman, and Krogman stuffs the shot. McMahon brings it up. Good passing here from the Hawks. Colbert into the middle, finds Krogman, and Krogman drains it. 23, I believe.
Yeah, South Tama's got to get something going here. Got to dish out, look for some paint points, maybe get 2 folks in. As Defoe is going to pass out to Hitchcock. That's going to be blocked again. Second effort by Dolezal. Rosenberger is going to get
blocked.
blocked.
Picks up her dribble, and she'll be called for traveling. Coming into the game for the Hawks, number 12, Avery Schmitz. She is a freshman guard, and she'll check in for Veda Langle.
So Krogman will pass out. We'll take it again at the top of the key, and she is going to...
Krogman, I think, was trying to draw a foul on that one, but no call. Ball gets loose underneath the arms of Funky, and Heck trying to fast break. Hitchcock not quite ready for the pass. Turnover back on the West Delaware side now. 2 shots coming here. Foul underneath the hoop against South Tama.
Just really tough. You got to be heads up. When you're going to run down like that, you got to be looking for the ball. That's just miscommunication.
Kayla Heck with her second personal foul. McMahon good on the first shot. And misses on the second. Hitchcock the rebound.
Get some motion going.
And Hitchcock from the point. Guarded by Funky. She'll be called for a double dribble. Another reserve coming in for West Delaware. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, you just got to be frustrated with that. Just some of the calls have not been going your way, and you can tell there's a little frustration.
Katie Cass checks in for Kirsten Colbert. Cass, a freshman forward for West Delaware, and there's Funky on an easy layup underneath the hoop.
Takaya Rosenberger is going to pass inside to Hitchcock, who will try to dish it out to Dozal, and that's going to be through the hands of, who was it last touched by?
And I think it's going to be they're going to call it last touch by West Delaware. Jasleen Lasley comes in for Hitchcock. And inbound pass to Kayla Heck, and Heck unable to find the teammate. The pass goes high and out of bounds. Turnover gives it back to the Hawks, and Krogman will go to the bench. We'll see if Coach Brad Wabina is going to kind of pull in a full second unit here. Still with Funky and McMahon on the court. McMahon pulls into the lane. Jumper is good. Josie McMahon working with 5 points tonight. Rosenberger into the lane and has it knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Trojans.
Just one of those things that South Tama probably needs to do is, again, with that small ball, you got to take more three-point shots. Lastly had a good idea to take those 3 balls, because you're not going to get anything really in the paint with such tall players like that. That one's going to be intercepted.
Inbound pass picked away by Avery Schmitz. And fast break opportunity here for the Hawks. First shot is no good, but it was Cass coming in. No, excuse me, Andrea Wabana finishing up. She just got in off the bench. Wabana the point. She's got 3 tonight.
Heck's going to take a 3 ball, and
It's
she gets
good.
it to go.
Good shot there by Kayla Heck. She's got 9 points to lead the Trojans to all the Trojans, not lead them. She's got all of them.
Yes. She's got all the points. Kick out top of the key. That's going to be a 3-ball answer.
Look for McMahon. Funky the rebound, and she puts back another shot. She's been good on the glass tonight.
Yes. I've got her 3 for 5 from field goal.
52-9 as we get to the end of the third quarter. Heck into the lane, bounces one off the back of the rim. Schmitz the rebound. Trojans can get it back one more time here. Pass gets tipped out. Good deflection there by Sienna Defoe.
Is there a reason why the clock keeps running? It should have stopped.
I don't know if we're at a 35, like a continuous clock situation. I think we might be there.
That is possibility.
Savannah Ham checks in, number 32 for the Hawks. So it's Josie McMahon and then a full set of second-string players for the Hawks here. And Kayla Heck at the buzzer. will get the Trojans into double digits, but they trail big, 52-11, as we go into the fourth quarter. We're going to take a break, hear from some of our sponsors, and we'll be back after this. Thanks for being with us on Trojan Country. All right, welcome back. Start of the fourth quarter here at the Roundhouse. West Delaware up big, 52-11 against the South Tama Trojans. This is varsity action. Start of the fourth quarter. And some first stringers back into the game here a little bit. Langle and Colbert going to kind of maybe lead the way with some bench players. And it's nice to just kind of get things moving if you don't have the strongest second or third unit, to just put one or two starters out there to kind of guide the action and keep things flowing a little better. Here's a three from Kayla Heck. Off the mark.
Looked good, but just can't get it down, and she's going to take it. Fast break. She's going to go left-hand side, and she loses the dribble.
Oh, so Heck sends it out of bounds. And turnover back to the Hawks.
If that would have been a made shot, this place would have erupted. At least I hope so anyway. Colbert passes out. She'll take it again. Dribble in. Open look, doesn't take. That's going to be a pass, far out shot, and jump ball. So possession error going for the Trojans.
52-11. Defoe inbounds it to Olivia Hollow, the freshman. We've seen kind of the most of her off the bench, and Jasleen Lasley also into the game. So some younger players getting some run here in the last quarter of action. Heck to Defoe, and Trojans finally get another player on the board. Sienna Defoe, her first bucket comes late in the fourth.
That was a good sequence right there. See that in college all the time. So kind of use the body, pass back, pass it into the paint, get the points off your post player. Excellent job. Keep that going. Lastly, right-hand side, Defoe. She's got a little lane. Holla was thinking about it.
Open
Deep
look
two.
for Heck. Not there. Colbert the rebound. A little pressure here from South Tama. Hawks cleared out. And there's a long three.
Wow.
That is good from Natalie Minson. Haven't heard much from her on the offensive side tonight, but that's a good-looking three-pointer. And Coach Brad Wabanaugh going to rotate in a full 5-player rotation. And maybe just kind of working with some matchups and chemistry and just kind of putting different players together and seeing what sticks here in the waning minutes of a blowout loss or a blowout win for them. Hall a shot off the mark. Funky the rebound. Funky and McMahon, the two starters, working with Wabanaugh.
They got to play closer on the defense, apply that pressure. It's going to be kicked out, open look.
Funky, three-pointer's no good. Also, Ava Hartman in on the game. And so is, if I get my last one here. Let's see, Savannah Ham. That's our fifth Hawk on the court. 55-13. Inbound pass here from McMahon.
Pass out look, top of the key. Thought about it. Nice ball movement right now from the Hawks.
Funky. Baseline shot. Not there. Gets her own rebound into the lane. Loses it, and lastly comes up with the rebound. Paula quickly up to Heck. And Heck's shot's no good. She's getting aggressive for the rebound. Goes to the court. It'll be last touched by South Tama. Out of bounds call. West Delaware ball.
At this point, you got to think about it that, you got to try and get a little experience on the court. Live action, playing against other schools. It's experience at this point.
McMahon driving inside into a double team. Defoe doing a good job to get her hands in there. And Funky again, that same look from the baseline. It shot's way off the mark. Ham the rebound. Gets her own miss, and a foul is called.
Nice effort, though. It was a block shot going that first, sort of kind of shot up by, I believe, Funky. And just unfortunate that you couldn't get the jump ball call because you got the possession arrow. Just kind of reached in a little bit too hard.
Another
five-man rotation out for West Delaware. All sorts of folks coming in and out of this game.
Lena Petlin inbounding. Katie Cass passing it over. Krogman back into the game, so she's kind of working with these second teamers as well. First shot's off the mark. Defoe the rebound.
So Heck will drive in a little. Shoot from the elbow, and that was well defended. So Krogman's going to take it as point guard. Right-hand side.
To Schmitz. And three-pointer there by Katie Cass off the mark.
Good.
Heck the rebound. Just 2.5 minutes left to go. West Delaware next will travel to Grinnell on Tuesday, the 5th, and they will be at Benton Community on Friday the 8th. So a couple of road matches still to come for the Hawks before they go back home for another game. And South Tama, meanwhile, they will travel to the 12th ranked CPU Stormwind Pointers on Tuesday the 5th, and they'll be home here at the Roundhouse on Friday the 8th against Marion. So that's a upcoming week for both of these teams.
And already that pass out to Rosenberger, targeted Morgan, and a little bit too strong on that, taken away. And Cass shot is up, good. Paul is going to take this out. Lastly, with 3 look, a little contested, just short.
Air ball for Lastly, and the Hawks back on offense.
Krogman passes back out. Taken out again. Just good ball movement. And this time, West Delaware is going to take a timeout.
Our next broadcast will be coming up on Tuesday. We're going to have a boys game here at the Roundhouse. South Tama taking on Center Point Urbana. And then on Thursday, it'll be Pin the Gym night here for the wrestling teams. It'll be South Tama's girls and boys varsity teams in action. I think there's some sub-varsity matches as well to be wrestled. But it's going to be South Tama and Benton in a dual meet. And that'll be Pin the Gym night. So there'll be some fun raffles and activities put on by the STC Activities Boosters. So if you are in the area, put that on your calendar this Wednesday, Thursday the 8th. No, Thursday the 7th. Got all my stuff wrong. Thursday the 7th, Pin the Gym night, 6 p.m. start here at the Roundhouse.
So Schmitz is going to pass it out to Petlin. She'll take it in the paint, and that's going to be swatted away by Rosenberger.
Rosenberger can't get the steal to complete. Shot is off the mark. And
that was a good punch out by Schmitz.
Rosenberger will kind of bite on the comeback frustration steal there and gets called for the foul. Under a minute to go here as we have continuous clock working with West Delaware up big, 55-13.
Kick out, 3.
That's
Good.
good. Good looking shot there by number 11, Lena Petlin, the sophomore.
Oh, that looks so good, but must just got a hand on it. Back out to Rosenberger. She'll dish into the paint for Holla, and that's going to be a jump ball. Hawks will take the possession. Now 30 seconds of continuous clock winding down. Looking at a 58-13 win for the West Delaware Hawks if they are going to try and go for the shot, and they are.
Yeah, one more, in and out. South Tama can try for one last shot here. Kayla Heck, in and out. Jump ball. And that she'll do it. 58-13, the final score. West Delaware gets their first win of the year. And South Tama falls to 0-3. We're going to tally up a few stats here. We'll be right back with a quick wrap-up here at the Roundhouse. Thanks for being with us on Trojan Country.
Oceans and oceans, paper submarine. Motions, emotions, blissful hurricane, swirling through me. Oceans and oceans, blue, black, and green. Motions to motions, even with the ship, I'm still drowning. What am I gonna do with all these feelings? Even when the moon cries, leaving us alone, lights fading out. Even when the sun shines, or when we got no way out. Love runs dry. I will not leave your side. Oceans and oceans, welling up in me. Emotions, emotions.
All right, welcome back. Here live from the Roundhouse. South Tama falling in dramatic fashion, 58-13 to the West Delaware Hawks. Here tonight at the Roundhouse. I'm going to turn it over to Hunter White. He's going to give us some unofficial stats here from South Tama.
Yeah, so very defensive game put up by the Hawks. Of course, making South Tama scoreless going in that first quarter. But slowly, South Tama tried to crawl back in this one as Kayla Heck ended up scoring 11 of the 13 points that the Trojans put up tonight. The other 2 points coming off the bench from Sienna Defoe. So excellent passing. They just couldn't get anything going because of the height of that West Delaware squad. And, of course, that's led by the 6-foot junior Krogman. She ended up having 21 points on the night, only followed by Funky, who ended up getting 12. And the amount of steals and blocks that just happened throughout this game for this West Delaware team was just too much. I didn't get any numbers, but of course.
Yeah, no, it was significant.
It was a lot.
The turnovers were pretty dramatic as well. And yeah, a tough night out. And it's going to this has been the narrative in the WaMaC conference. South Tama is going to have a challenge in any of the. I haven't really seen any of these other WaMaC teams, but typically maybe one or two might be competitive with where South Tama's been at the last couple of seasons. But a lot of really talented teams across both sides of the WaMaC. If I remember correctly, I think Mount Vernon ranked 1 in 3A, Benton ranked 2, and Solon is right there, I think, at either 4A maybe, or maybe I have that backwards. But 5 or 6 really talented programs that are probably going to be going to the state tournament in some fashion, whether it be 4A or 3A this season. So plenty of work for South Tama, and we will catch up with them in a couple of weeks. We're going to have a doubleheader against Grinnell, so we won't see the girls' team again on Trojan Country, not next week, but the following week. We will have our doubleheader home game against the Grinnell Tigers. So we will see the girls then and wish them the best as they travel to Center Point Urbana on Tuesday, and we'll have the boys' game here live at the Roundhouse. Any weekend plans for you, Hunter?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to the University of Northern Iowa, where the men's varsity glee clubs got their Christmas show going on right now.
Tis the season. It is getting time for all those Christmas things. And, I enjoy that time. I get a little nostalgic around the Christmas time, and it's just it's good to kind of lean into it, I think, from my perspective. And we'll be watching some Hawkeye basketball and Hawkeye football on Saturday. So we'll wish the Hawkeyes well in their endeavors on Saturday. So thanks for being with us, Trojan fans. Have a great weekend, and good night, and go Trojans.